Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GRE out of this book here, practicing to take the GRE general test, the 10th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it in order to prepare for the exam. It doesn't matter which exam, whether you're going to take the exam before the 1st of August of 2011 or after the 1st of August 2011, you're still going to have to practice for the what is known as quantitative comparison questions. These questions will not disappear in the new GRE, which is going to debut on the 1st of August. They're changing the format of the exam, but these questions do not go away. Anyway, the problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 375, quantitative comparison question number 5. Let's take a look at it. Oh, never mind. I got excited for one tiny brief second, because I thought it says Mrs. Rogers. It does not say Mrs. Rogers. It says Miss Rogers. We do not want Mrs. Rogers right now. We are busy doing something else. Miss Rogers bought, and for those of you, well, I want to digress here for a second. Let's erase all of this thing. Let's learn a vocab word, shall we? Let's digress. Let's digress. Digress means to go off a topic, for those of you who do not know. The word that I want you to learn is allude. A-L-L-U-D. Allude. What does it mean? And how is this different from refer? To refer to something means to mention that something, whatever it is, explicitly, by name. To allude to something is to refer to something indirectly, implicitly. You see, I just made my eyebrows went up and so on and so forth, but I said nothing at all. Obviously, I'm alluding to something because I'm not telling you what it is. For those of you who know, obviously, I thought it was funny, but anyway. So this is not, I was alluding to what transpired between, who was it? Dustin Hoffman, I think it was, I don't remember. Between him and Mrs. Rogers. We're not going to go into it. Anyway, Miss Rogers, at least we got a new word out of it, which is allude, which means to make an indirect reference to something, as opposed to making a direct reference, making an explicit reference. To mention something by name is a reference. If you simply say, oh, you know who called again, well, you know who, that's an allusion. The noun would be an allusion. Here, of course, it will be a reference. Not to be confused with illusion. Illusion is different from allusion. That's a different word. Allusion is a noun for allude. Allude is your verb. This is your noun. Anyway, enough of that. Miss Rogers bought an electric range on an installment plan. All right, I'm good for her. I'm happy. The cash price of the range was $400. All right. So here's your cash price. Sometimes the handwriting is $400. Sometimes the handwriting becomes atrocious. The amount she paid was $120 down. Okay, so she did not pay the cash price. She apparently got an installment. The amount she paid was $120 down. So here's your down payment of $120. And then she agreed to pay 12 monthly payments of $20. 12 payments of $28 each, whatever that is. I'm not going to bother computing this out because I do not know what goes on in this problem. Later on, if we have to figure it out, we'll figure it out. But right now, just leave it in abeyance. Again, if you do not know the word abeyance, look it up and learn it. Abeyance, A-B-E-Y-A-N-C-E. Abeyance means to leave something until later, to postpone something, to defer something, to put aside something, to put something to leave something in inactivity. I'm going to leave this in abeyance. As I said, I'm going to figure it out what 12 times 28 is if I have to. Otherwise, I find it annoying. So we'll see what happens. Because these questions, always remember, are called quantitative comparison. They are not called quantitative computation. You mustn't compute every little bloody thing. That's where people waste their time. They want us to compare the amount she paid for the electric range in excess of the cash price versus 56. So here's your second column, column B, and here's your column A. Amount she paid. But before we worry about what she paid here, why don't we subtract the two here? So these are too far apart to see it. I'm going to put it a little higher. Here's your 120, which is your down payment. Minus 2 is 8, 3 minus 1 is... Oh, voila, this is 280, and she paid $28 for a payment. Each payment was $28. This is 280 exactly. So these are 10 payments. This 280 represents 10 payments. Voila, there we go. There are 10 payments. And obviously, if she paid 10 payments, then the amount, this is not the amount she paid rather, but they're asking you, what did she pay in excess? Amount she paid, how did they phrase it? In excess, is that what we call it? Yep, in excess. Amount she paid in excess. Well, the amount she paid was, here represents that this $280 is the difference, but she's paying 12 payments of 28. 10 payments of 28 would have been 280. Since she's paying 12 payments of 28, she's paying 2 extra payments in interest is what she's paying. So the amount in excess is 2 times 28. Well, I know 2 times 25 is 50, so 2 times 28 is got to be 56. Voila, there you go. That's same as this one. That's it. We're done. The answer is C. That's it. All right. It should not have taken this long, but sometimes one cannot help oneself if one gets excited when one hears Mrs. Rogers. So that's where we went into all of this digression. Let's do number 6, shall we? Number 6. I'll give you, again, let me explain you one more time my logic as to how I did it. They tell you that the cash price is 400. They also tell you the down payment is 120. If the cash price is 400 and the down payment is 120, the difference is 280. They also tell you that each payment is $28. So this $280 difference between the cash price and the down payments represents the 10 payments of $28 each. We are told that she makes 12 payments. If she makes 12 payments, then the amount she pays in excess must be the amount that she paid in 2 extra payments. The amount she pays in 2 extra payments is simply 2 times 28, which is 56, which is exactly the same as the second column. Answer is C. Let's do number 6, okay? I'll give you again 5 seconds to pause this thing if you have to do whatever it is that you have to do. If you need to pause the frame before I erase it. There you go. Number 6. That was an A. The word was abeyance, which means to leave something until later. Number 6, we have a picture here, so I have no choice but to erase all of these things. So I'm going to do that because I need the room. Oh, not a bad looking circle, even though I say so myself. And this distance from here to here is 5.9. And this distance from here to here is 5.8. The question simply is, which one is bigger, the length of PQ, which is this part right here, or the length of xy. That's what they want you to compare. The question that they're trying to test here, the concept that they're trying to test here is this. This segment P to Q and X to Y, they are called chords. Chords. So if you have a circle, and here's your center, this is one chord, there's another chord, there's another chord, one more chord, and this chord. Finally, when we get to this chord here, the last chord that I drew, if the chord happens to go through the center, because it's such a special chord, because it goes through the center, we have given it a special name. A chord that goes through the center is called a diameter. Obviously, you know that. All diameters are chords, but all chords are not diameters. As you can see, there are all the other chords. But what we notice is that the closer the chord gets to the diameter, the closer the chord gets to the center, the longer it gets. And the longest chord that you have is the diameter, which is why it has a special name. It has a special name, we call it diameter, because it happens to be the longest chord. And if you were to continue down, it's going to get shorter again. They begin to get shorter and shorter. You see? The longest chord is called the diameter. So the closer you get to the center, the longer it's going to get. Which chord is close to the center here? The one that is only 5.8 meters away from the center, or one that is 5.9 meters from the center? Well, there you go, the way I phrase my question. This is called leading the witness. Let me say it again one more time. Which one do you suppose is longer? The one that is only 5.8 meters away from the center, or the one that is all the way to 5.9 meters from the center? Obviously, the one that is closer to the center, which is this one, X to Y. So let's write down the, I'm going to erase this thing. Let's write down the concept that we need to know here, which is the closer the chord gets to the center, the longer it gets. That's all. The closer it gets to the center, the longer it gets. And since this is closer, since xy, because it's only 5.8 meters from the center as opposed to 5.9, because it is closer, xy is longer. So where is xy? Xy is in the second column. So here's your column A, chord PQ, and column B, where we have chord xy. And since xy is close to the center, it is longer than this chord, which is 5.9 meters from the center. Since this chord is longer, the answer is B. That's all. That's the end of it. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, I tutor over the internet via Skype. I also do face-to-face tutoring, and I also provide tutoring services over the telephone. If there is anything at all that I can do to help you prepare for the exam, go to my website at www.for4gre.com and send me an email. Or you can also go to www.KeshwaniPrep.com and send me an email. Alright? Thanks.